Let's see. Scotty, I think your list might be too long. Syntax Junk, SGH, could work. Not enough volume for you. These are the kind of stocks that can chop you out. I want hotter stocks for you, buddy. I want you to look for the Kelly Kapowski of stocks. Good morning. Yes. The Kelly Kapowski of stocks. That means like that's the perfect, right? You don't get any better than Kelly Kapowski. They don't make people like that anymore. Morning. What's up? What's up? Who do we got? All right, so let's clean up this list. Mark, you got some stragglers on your list to this. Counter trend, leave it alone. We're not doing counter trends for you, buddy. There will be a day you could take that trade, but that day is far away. DB, okay. Good. Not enough volume on this one for you, buddy. Hold on, guys. I'm just kind of going through a couple people's watch lists here. GDX. Arna's good. Nah, not enough volume for you, buddy. All right, cool. Let's look at the market indexes, guys. You know, we were facing a little bit of sell pressure last couple days. Nothing to get your panties in a bunch about, though. When you look at trading, you know, we're basically in just like a big, gigantic range, right? We've been in basically a range for the last 6-7 months. And what's happening, and this happens anytime you're in a range, you get to the top of the range, everybody gets all giddy, and they say, like, told you so, only price pays, price action. You know, and they make fun of the news and all this kind of stuff. And then the market starts rolling over a little bit, and they say, blah, 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 blah. In the end, like, we're just in a range, and, you know, when you're in a range, everything looks good at the top of the range, and once you start leaving the top of the range, like, there's, like, when the market moves down even, like, 3 or 4%, higher beta names, they'll drop like 10, 15%. So like it'll feel like it's really nasty in the market. You'll feel like, holy shit, like, is this the start of the bear market, right? You always kind of think like that, but it's not necessarily the case. We're just in a monster range, and we've been acting like that. We had a nice day in the market yesterday, a little bit of a reversal. Today we got a flat open, slightly down, but plus or minus, 30, 40 cents on the Qs is essentially a flat open. So we don't really know which way we go today, right? Do we go up? Do we go down? Do we go all around? Who knows? What you got to always remember is that we're just in a range, right? We're in a range, and sometimes we fiddle back to the bottom of the range, go back to the top, so on and so forth. But that's what you have to trade. Anytime the market this year has looked like it's going to break out, that it's really getting zesty, where you think, holy shit, I got to get some longs, then the market pulls back, right? And like yesterday, in our chat room yesterday, we had a list of stocks on our watch list that were all short. We're like, bear flag, bear flag, bear flag, bear flag. And we were even saying to ourselves, like, man, we got so many shorts on our watch list, everything's going to turn into a long, right? Because in a range-bound market, when everything looks short, it becomes long, and when everything looks long, it becomes short. Essentially, just giant penis in between is sitting in the middle of your buddy's backseat of his Volvo. It's not that fun, but sometimes that's where you're at in life, and that's what you got to do. That's range life in a nutshell. Let's talk about some of the different plays that we got going on. It is light on PR plays. We're really trading very few of them. Every day there might be one or two. That's just the norm in that calm before the storm before you get into earnings season. I wouldn't really worry about it too much when you're going into that. I must have froze, Miss Priceman. Shoot, let me reset this thing. I got it. Try now. So that's where we got to roll with this thing. So let's go back through this. Pier 1 imports. These guys are getting smoked on earnings. They got bad furniture anyways, right? I mean, we're not supporters of these people. So this one's busting below the 9 EMA. You got room down to 8 on this thing. Fiscal EPS widens, blah, blah, blah. Revenue declines, blah, 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 blah. All sounds pretty bad. But in general, like the chart is really breaking down on this one. You've got room to 8. It's got a really interesting range on it. When it wants to whip around, it will really whip around. So watch this one at the open. If you start to see ORB pattern on this one, that's when, that's when we're going to get this thing going. You may want to check with your broker to make sure you have borrows on this. There have been times where it is hard to borrow. So, hit up Donnie if you don't got any of the borrows. Donnie, he'll say hello. Donnie's the man with the borrows, right? Like when you're going out on Friday and you looking to score some weed, well, right, you got your boy Trey that hooks you up with the weed. And on a Thursday when you need the borrows, then you go to Donnie to get the borrows. That's how it goes. So watch this one for the ORB. That's where we've got the action on this one. ENTA, this is actually a really clean breakdown here. If it stays under 63, the key to this one is going to be, is there any liquidity in this? Right now you're seeing like, okay, it's got 10,000 shares in volume. So, Donnie, give yourself like a little plug or something, like a little link. Right? Boom. 10,000 shares of volume. So that's not going to work, all right? That's not going to work on this one. I need to see at least 500,000 shares in volume fire off before I would ever take a trade in this. So if you start to see this thing ORB down near lows, right? So you need at least minimum 3 candles, 15 minutes of consolidation before you can rip. You're good to go, all right? FDS, you got a big clean breakdown here, nice rollover, and you're breaking over under the 200 SMA. It is a little bit of a pricey stock. The issue on this one's going to be liquidity too. The higher the price goes on some of these stocks, the lower the liquidity gets because you start to get a little bit of a spread. So just be mindful that when we go with this, there may not be that much liquidity. What I need to see is the spread needs to get to like only 20, 30 cents. I need to see at least 500,000 shares in volume. Then I can roll with this bad boy. BYND looks like probably the play for today. They've got some plant-based soy boy man boob testing for McDonald's in Canada. Guys, this is it's a nice trading stock, but just remember, you eat any BYND burgers, you're going to have man boobs. They're going to be juicy. Your girlfriend's going to be pinching them. She's going to be pinching them. Man, that's what happens when you eat that stuff, right? You don't want to be a soy boy, do you? You want to be a trader. Traders eat meat. Sometimes they eat it raw. It's nasty, right? But that's how we got to do it these days. That's how we got to roll. But this is nice. You got big range here, 138 to 168. If you clear over this level, bro, you guys are going to go and get this thing going. That one looks pretty good. Rad also had earnings out today. Misses on revenue, but tops EPS. That could go either way. You got a big breakup. The reason I want to put this on the watch list, though, is that, number one, Rad had a reverse split of like 1 to 20 reverse split a few months ago. So its listed float is actually much lower than, like what TC2000 says, because they had the 1 to 20 reverse split. Any volume on this one, and this thing could go gangbusters and break out of this zone, and then you have like a really, really nice kind of move. Now, the issue on this is going to be, it's not a clean gapper, and number two, their earnings probably sucked, right? It looks like they've missed on earnings. So who knows if that's even, it's going to have the juice. It's not trading around much right now, but it's been known to push and pump in the past, and that's something we've got to be aware. Now, they're not going to have, let me see here. Hold on. They're not going to have any, I think the Peloton IPO is today. So, hold on. Dun dun, Peloton IPO. Oh, yeah. All right. Peloton IPOs. Donnie, you got borrows on this? If you got borrows on this, that's going to be the hot spot. It's hard to get borrows on IPOs, though, unless you do. who knows what? Man, so if it's priced at 29, guys, if it's priced at 29, say it opens at like 35 or 38. That's what happens with some of these IPOs. They just pump them and then they die. And then, there's just like, look at the IPOs that, we've been watching. I mean, it's just like, this is LVGO. This is Work. This is Slack, right? The day the IPO would reverse, it never got back. I mean, I like Slack and stuff. Yeah, Peloton. It's a PTON. Yeah, so PTON. This one's gonna be. This one's gonna have a little action on it. Just watch the way it opens, man. If this thing comes in to sky high, then I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna be able to have much range in it. What I have been noticing with the IPOs is that you do get one kind of shred at the open on it. So even though this Peloton's probably going to be a pig and all the other IPOs are pigs, we will get one shred on it. So what you want to do, right, with an IPO stock, move to a smaller time frame, like say a 2-minute chart. Watch that thing at the open. If it starts to build out a range, then that's when you really want to roll with it, and then we'll take a look at it. So Peloton IPO. What was the other one? OPRT. So there's another one, OPRT, that looks decent. Let me see where that one's opening up. OP. Where is this one gonna open? PRT, 6-point share, $15. So this one's actually gonna be a tiny float. I would keep this OPRT on watch too. See how this bad boy opens. Yeah, good. So these will give us kind of 2 plays to add to the list. What you got to do when you got the IPOs, guys, at least on, damn, you got Pelotons? Borrows? All right. Damn, Donnie. Good. All right, where was I? Damn, Donnie, I didn't know you had the borrows on that. All right, the rest of the watch list. SEDG. This one's got a flag coming out right. As long as it can hold 85, I think this one's got some juice on it. Keep that one around. I know everybody's been asking about Roku. Roku's going to probably chop around here. It's just dipping and ripping and zagging and doing all sorts of things. Essentially, it's just putting everybody in basically like a giant grind, right? What's happened is it's dropped so much that everybody wants to long this thing, but it doesn't have any catalyst or any reason beyond that it's oversold to actually go and bounce. So what can happen on something like this? If it doesn't bounce and kind of rip over this, I'd say 112. If it doesn't clear like 112 in the next, I would say like 2-3 days, then it's going to turn into a bear flag. And what's going to happen is this 9 EMA, it's going to every day kind of start curling down a couple more dollars. It's going to get up on top of it, and then it's going to thrust it down. See, you can work off an oversold condition in 2 ways. Number one, if you're oversold, you can bounce, right? That'll work off an oversold condition. The second way you can work off an oversold condition is via time. Time can heal overbought, oversold conditions just by a function of consolidating. So if this thing consolidates for like 2-3 more days and it can't bounce, it's probably starting its next leg down to the 200 SMA. I don't think it's tested its 200 SMA in quite some time, right? So it's been since April before that big run. So just kind of be mindful, like when you're looking at some of these things, that's the way it goes, right? All the software stocks, the TTDs, crowds, like I would still keep all these on watch for short, but they are getting a little bit long in the tooth. Like crowd, this thing's down like 6 days, 7 days in a row. We've been shorting it every day. So I don't know if that's gonna be, it's gonna have any more juice. But my favorite for today is this J-Nug short. We J-Nugged to the bank yesterday. You know, I think we were shorting at what, our first short was at 71. You've broken down. So this is a classic kind of like what's called a breakdown pullback play. So you had this big breakdown, and then you start to pop up on lower volume. See how the volume is declining on the way up, right? Compared to its down days. So what that indicates is it's like a dead cat bounce or some type of relief bounce, right? Then it smacks into its MAs and you get a giant red candle to hold. And yesterday it was just getting smoked out, right? Yesterday's getting smoked out. It ORB'd and then it was just down she goes. The range on this is 6. So my favorite trader for today, J-Nug. Number 2, we'll play this BYND back and forth. Number 3, we've got the IPOs. We've got Peloton. We've got OPRT. If you need borrows on the Peloton, hit up Donnie. He'll get you the borrows. I think he said it's going to cost a nickel or so to get them, though. But whatever. A nickel's worth it if that thing tanks. All right? Guys, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been fast. Make me proud. Let's go make some money. It's Thursday. It's one day past hump day. So hopefully you guys, had a little hanky-panky. You guys feel pretty good about yourselves. Ready to make a little money. And we're going to do what we do, which is the do. All right? Let's have some fun. Let's make this happen. This is honestly, it is one of the best trading markets I've seen in a long time. This year's been sick. Even though the market's in a range, the market is giving opportunities both to the long side and short side. Just got to capture it, manage your risk, wait for the good patterns. Let's have some fun. Let's make a little money.